What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Art Shack. This is part 8, the last part of how to draw mountains in the mist. This part, I don't know how long it's going to take me. I don't think it's going to take me too long to do in the video. Pretty much all it is filling in this last little part. That's it. It's the last part. So with this last, little section I have left, all it's to add in is just some grass, a bit of like dirt and things like that. I have a rock that's gonna go in right here, maybe a few more rocks back and over here, and then you can call it done. So I'm gonna start off with the hardest part of this, which is the grass. Grass, it takes a technique to draw. Definitely does. I have one video that I explain well, how to draw grass. But I'm gonna show you again in this one. I'll try to, at least. Don't worry, it'll be fine. I'm gonna try to move in the camera just a little bit. That way it's zoomed in a little bit better so you can see everything. Also, try to full screen if you can. That'll really help with being able to see the details for sure. So the thing with drawing grass is it's quick. It's a lot of quick pencil strokes, or you can do cautious slow ones, or whatever your preferred method for drawing grass may be. But it's a lot, going back in with the eraser and things like that. Just make sure I can see the bottom of the page there. I have a line going all around this drawing so that way it's the same size. This paper, I think I mentioned, it's 11 by 14 in size, but I have a pencil mark 9 by 12. That way it's the same size as my original drawing, which makes it easier to replicate. That way everything scales correctly. Alright, so I'm using the underhand grip again. I use the underhand grip a lot for a lot of different things. And the grass, right here, it's going to be relatively tall. And the big thing with drawing grass is you want to make sure that you can see how this area is. You want to make sure that the tops of the blades are smaller or thinner than the base. It's one of the big parts in convincing that what you have is indeed grass. So I'm doing this relatively quickly. It's kind of just the way that I work with doing grass. Just quick motions, but I'll go back in. I'm going to be erasing a lot just to add in more detail. One of my drawings way back when I posted on my Facebook page, it was a tree drawing. It never got recorded, but I did another drawing like it after because it got a lot of attention when I put it on my Facebook page. The tree came out really well, but the grass, I spent so much time drawing in that grass, probably an hour or two, if not longer, just drawing in the grass. And when you spend that much time drawing grass, it better look good. But believe me, I loved the way that image came out. Still to this day, it's probably one of my favorite drawings I've done. And I did that quite a while back. I have to sharpen the pencil again. It's starting to do a double line on me. So, just gotta sharpen it up, and we're good to go. As you start getting towards these trees, I'm going to start making the grass blades a lot smaller. Something like this. The reason why in the last video I didn't bring the trees all the way down to the base is because the grass is going to go all the way up to the trees. Just like that. And then fill in the last area here. clean off the drawing. Okay, and then with that, you can go back in with the eraser and just kind of try to erase out individual blades of grass, things like that, especially in the foreground here, getting some of those large blades. And they can go back in and sort of darken in some of these areas around where you just erase to really kind of pop them out. On the bottom of this page here, I want them really darken in. I don't want to have too much detail right here. Then you can go back in and add in a few darker blades of grass. Darken things in again. So like a lot of different things when you draw, it's a bit of a repetitive process. But a lot of things that, in landscapes can be a little bit repetitive as far as the way the detail goes. But it's all good. It's all fine and dandy. Okay. And then this area, just going to try and work and darken in just a tad. And then the same thing we did with the water on that one video. You can take like a 2H pencil and just kind of go over everything that you've done just to kind of darken it in, because in my original drawing the grass I have is pretty dark. So you can go ahead and do that, and it'll leave a lot of detail that you already have in. Then of course you can always go back in with the eraser and just pick out some of those blades of grass again. Something like that. And then just go back in and add some darker areas. So like I said, it's a bit repetitive. But it's just, believe me, that process of going back in and fine-tuning what you already have helps a lot with just adding a lot of volume. Helps to really give it that three-dimensional sort of look and things like that. So even though something that you're doing, may not look, really good at first, as soon as you go back in and add like a second layer, then maybe a third, all those layers will start to show through on one another, and it'll really start to make like a finished, a more polished sort of look. And then over here, just add in a few more blades of grass, just like that. Bring in the eraser over here just a little bit. Alright, and there you go. There's a patch of grass. I'm not too worried about adding in way too much detail right here, because remember, a lot of these centralized features are, right in this area here. If I were to add in a lot of detail here, right here in this grass, it would draw way too much attention, and I don't want to do that. So, alright, so I have this here, which I'm just kind of showing you with a line here. This is going to be like a really small riverbank right here. I mean, just really, really tiny right here. Something like that. So you can see, and then this part, It's all just going to be filled in with normal, just very similar to how I did across the river here. Just gonna go in and really just kind of fill this area in with just some detail work like this. I'm gonna add in a rock right here. I'm also gonna have this right here be a rock. And I'll add in one more, even though it's not in the original drawing. I'll add another rock that kind of shows up in the background right there. And I'm gonna take the blending stump and just kind of blend out this area here. I'll go back in and make some more detail of it in a second. But this area here can be shaded in nicely, just like that. I'll just shade in the top part and then use the blending stump to carry anything residual down into the water. And then go back in and just add a bit of detail right where the land meets the water, so that way you can tell the difference between the two. Something like that. Just want to fix up that spot there. Keep the paintbrush handy, it's always good. And just adding in a bit more detail. There's a bit of land that comes up over here. Something like that. Just kind of blend out this area. I want to keep some of the texture in, but mostly just blend it out. Just like that. Alright, and with these rocks, I'm going to go right in and just make the dark side. Same with this one. So I'm doing this with a 2B pencil. Just going in, doing all the shadow. I'll do it on this one as well. Kind of create this rock. Just create some interesting shapes on this one. Just like that. And then just come back in with the, I'm looking for a 2H, there we go. Add in the lighter side. And that way these will look a bit more three-dimensional and dynamic. Just like this. And then maybe darken this up just a little bit. If I can find the pencil. Or something like that. And then from here, I mean, this image is pretty much on the verge of completion here. As soon as you have the whole image pretty much drawn in, the only thing left to do is just to go into areas that you feel needs a bit more work and just kind of polishing up things like that. This drawing is pretty close pretty close to the original. So let me zoom out here. What I'm gonna do is bring this up like that. Alright. I have some tape holding this thing down. Stop that thing from shaking. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this one down and put them side by side. Well, mostly side by side. So there you can kind of get an idea of the two right next to each other. So, I mean, some of the differences are, I mean, I did a bit darker on the mountains here than I did over here. But overall, it's pretty similar to, you know, I have most of the details in that I wanted to get in. And I really hope that your drawing came out really well, you know, just as awesome as these ones. You know, this is probably one of my favorite drawings that I've done. So I really hope that yours came out well. If you want to, feel free, absolutely feel free to post your result over onto my Facebook page. If you want me to take a look at it and kind of give you some feedback on maybe something you could do better, or just just show me how you did. Anything would be great. So I'd love to see how your drawing came out. But I'm pleased with how this one came out in comparison. But nothing will beat the original. This one still takes the cake, I think. But I hope you enjoyed this video series. And please give me a thumbs up. It really does help out. And subscribe. I'll be releasing videos weekly. And I will see you all later. Take care.